Hi guys, today I have with me a Samsung Galaxy S6. It's the black sapphire model, 64 gigabytes. It's worth mentioning that this is the Australian version, so the model number is SMG920i. So the only difference between this and the American ones is that it hasn't got Galaxy S6 branding on the back. That's something, personally, I like that. It looks cleaner. Today I'm going to look at some of the features that many mainstream reviewers don't look at. The first one is Beep and Go. It's a barcode emulator or a beaming service. So if we start the app, this is a card that I've saved. So basically that's the barcode. What it does is at the top of the phone there's two holes. The one that's closer to the earpiece will start to glow red as soon as I hit this button. So you see that little red dot? That's actually an infrared emitter. It's actually emitting this barcode out in infrared. So without this, the barcode scanners in, say, a shopping center won't be able to read this one on the screen because it's glass, so the light reflects differently. So this actually sends this barcode to the scanner so that it can read it. Now, I find this useful because I save my gym membership in this. I also save some loyalty cards. So when I'm at the gym, I can just fire this up, scan my phone at the gate, and then it'll open for me. I don't have to carry my wallet to the gym, and personally, I find it quite useful. The second feature I want to talk about is Smart Stay. Now, Smart Stay has been on Samsung phones for a while, but this time, Samsung have actually disabled it. You can find it in Settings, Display, and Smart Stay. Now I've turned it on because I like it. So what this does is before the phone times out, before the screen times out, it will actually take a photo of your face using the front-facing camera. And if it finds your face, then the screen won't time out. I like it, so I've turned it on. Now the third feature is something called SOS message, I believe. So in privacy and safety, at the bottom here, you'll see something called send SOS message. So if you enable it, if you tap the power button 3 times, it will actually send a predefined message to a predefined number. You can have it attach photos, you can have it do an audio recording, so it's sort of like an emergency help message. I haven't turned it on, but some people might find this useful. The fourth feature is something called pin windows. It's actually a feature of Lollipop, and I'm glad that Samsung have included it. So in lock screen and security, at the bottom there is an option called other security, and at the bottom again we have pin windows. So I've turned it on. So what this does is, if you say you want to pass your phone to your friend to play a game, but you don't want them to navigate away from that game, you can actually pin that app to the screen so that that's the only app they can look at. So the way to access it is to hit the recent key or the multitasking button, and then the app that is at the front or at the bottom has a little pin icon. So if I hit that now, a little window will say, yes, do you want to pin this? So if I press start, you can't actually navigate away from this screen anymore. See, the recent key doesn't work, the back key doesn't work, so all they can do is use the calculator. Now to get out of this, you have to press the recent and the back button together, and then I'll go to lock screen. Now the reason it goes to the lock screen is because that pop-up, it asked, do I want to require a fingerprint? And I click yes. So it goes to the lock screen, put my fingerprint on it, and then unlocks, and then you can navigate away from the app. I find that useful. Probably if you have anything you don't want someone else to look on your phone, you can pin an app and then have them use the app, and then that's all they can see. The next feature I want to talk about is called Guesture Wake Up. In the accessibility settings, dexterity and interaction, there is a option here called Guesture Wake Up. Now this was in the S4, S5 and Note series. This time Samsung have really hidden it in the under accessibility. So if we give that a tap, so what this does is you can actually wake up the phone by waving your hand over it. So if I enable this and turn the screen off and put it on a flat surface, give it a few seconds, and if I wave this my hand over it, it turns the screen on. So it's useful if you want to check the time or the weather or whatever. Personally, I don't use it because I find I sort of wave my hand over the phone quite a lot and it just keeps turning on. It's kind of annoying, but it's something useful that some people might find useful, but I don't use it. Now, the next feature I want to talk about is tracking focus. So in the camera, in the settings here, there is an option to turn on tracking AF. So what this does is it'll actually try and keep focus on whatever object that you chose. So I have here a Android figurine. So if I tap on that, it'll keep that in focus. And if I actually move it around, it actually tracks the object. So if I come closer, it'll focus on it, further away. Even if it leaves the scene and comes back, it still tries to track it. I think it's good if you're recording, say, animals or children or something, or any moving subject. Quite interesting. The next feature I want to talk about is actually in the video size here. There's actually an option to choose full HD at 60 frames per second. Now, that's something that I like. It makes your video look a lot smoother, but having this option on, you lose some features. You don't have the HDR, video effects, video stabilization. So that's the software stabilization. So the hardware one is still there. And you can't have the tracking AF and you can't take photos while recording video. But I think that's a good trade-off because the video is so smooth with this turned on. You don't get any choppy lines or anything if you're recording, say, fast-moving cars. Everything looks really smooth. Now, there's something I want to mention. It's not actually a feature, but the Galaxy S6 has actually lost some functionality. It's actually lost the ability to use MHL. So this is my MHL adapter. Basically allows you to mirror your screen to the TV via HDMI. Now this doesn't actually fit in the phone anymore. It's actually, the adapter is actually, the plug is slightly different and it doesn't fit anymore. So that's something you might have to think about when you're thinking about buying the S6. It doesn't actually support MHL anymore. So Samsung have gone for an entirely wireless display sort of option. Now the final feature I want to talk about is something called SideSync. This actually allows you to mirror your phone, or not mirror, control your phone from your computer. So I'll just grab my computer. Okay, so I have the app installed and turned on, and I'm using Wi-Fi at the moment. It actually works on OS X and Windows, so it's not a problem which platform you're using. So if I select this device, which is this phone here, it'll connect. The phone goes, the screen turns off, and now the phone screen is entirely mirrored on the computer, and you can actually interact with it and use it. You can even turn on the camera. Pretty cool. Whether or not it's useful, I'm not sure. But if you work on your computer a lot and you don't want to have to keep checking messages on your phone, then it might be useful to actually connect your phone to your computer and then use it that way. That's all I'm going to talk about for today. Thanks for watching, and I hope you liked it. Thanks, guys.